released their first official depth chart of the season, which I believe includes 4 rookie starters headlining the first depth chart. 3 on the offensive side, 1 on the defense. This is Rambling About Washington. It's your boy, Rio Robinson. Let's talk about it.
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.
What's going on? This is an impromptu, unscheduled live stream on a Tuesday afternoon. I'm sure most of you are at work right now, so I don't expect to see too many people popping up in this live, but didn't feel like editing, so I said, fuck it, let's do this shit live right now. Washington's first depth chart has been released, and there are conflicting depth charts, by the way. There are 2 different depth charts per Ben Standig. If you're looking at this tweet that I have on screen right now, Ben Standig says, how unofficial is the Washington Commanders Week 1 depth chart? There are 2 different versions at receiver, all in one photo. One iteration of the depth chart says De'Ami Brown is the starter on the outside. The other one says Luke McCaffrey. What do you guys make of it? Let's do a little roll call in the chat and we can get to it. Hoodlum, what's going on? What's going on? Steven, Jefferson, my boy Charles, always repping from Florida. By the way, all you channel members, I am updating all the channel badges as soon as I get off live today. If I don't, DM me and cuss me out. I got my boy Cam hit me with so many iterations of my new logo, and the channel badges are going to look clean. What up, Sheen? What up, Johnny? Michael, Chester, what's going on? The depth chart is out, guys. Stop the presses. The Washington Commanders depth chart is out. Mike, Johnny, Patrick, my man Command Radar, always smash that like button. We got 132 in the chat right now. Everybody pulling up. You're at your cubicles at work. You sneaking in a live stream. It is what it is. We're going to talk about this thing. Jay Williams, what's going on? What's going on? We're doing a live roll call. Gucci Sushi. Forbes about as strong as a wet napkin. We cooked on the outside. Maybe he's taking a step. That's my biggest takeaway. Luke starting or De'Ami starting or whatever that mystery we want to go in with some gamesmanship and not tell people who's starting on the outside. It's a fluid situation, but Forbes starting on the outside. This is a good thing, y'all. Emmanuel Forbes won the outside corner job over Michael Davis. Everybody clap it up for that. I'm not being facetious. I'm not being a dick right now. I am happy that Emmanuel Forbes won a job. Emmanuel Forbes won a job, goddammit. That is progress. I know my boy Michael Hinton don't want to hear nothing about Emmanuel Forbes. He keeps saying, Rio, stop trying to force it. He basically told me I'm trying to make fetch happen with Emmanuel Forbes. I'm trying my best, man. What's going on, Commander Joe? Eagles landed. What's going on, man? It's week 1. I hope we get a little bit of everybody's colors in the chat. I hope we get a little bit of everybody over here. And channel members, I got you. Y'all are getting updated member badges, emojis, and all that shit as soon as I get off stream. But let's get to it. Let's start talking about this depth chart. We already knew who the starting quarterback was. We got 3 rookies, I believe, headlining the offensive side of the ball. At wide receiver, rookie Luke McCaffrey is penciled in to start at outside receiver opposite Terry Scorin McLaurin. In the slot, Alameda Zaccheaus. At running back, Brian Robinson. And you know we got a 2-headed monster at the running back position. We don't even really got to talk about that position right now. But Brandon Coleman, despite not getting any preseason action or action in any joint practice versus the Jets and the Dolphins, has a stranglehold over the left tackle position. So first things first, when I look at this depth chart, I see an infusion of young talent, an infusion of it at the most important positions on the offense, at left tackle, at wide receiver, at quarterback. Young boy season. Let Luke McCaffrey cook. Luke McCaffrey starting on the outside on the first depth chart is a reminder that Cliff Kingsbury has not shown us anything yet. He's not shown us anything. They have not shown us what they got because we haven't even seen Luke McCaffrey catch a pass from Jaden Daniels in practice or on the game yet. So What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's good with everybody? What is the mood? We're 5 days away. We're 2 days away from the opener. What the fuck are the vibes right now? I'm not roasting Brown or Forbes. These guys can do that. Hey, everybody give these people a clean slate. Look, when you enter a new relationship, guy or girl, do you hold them accountable for your ex's mistakes? Do you force do you trauma dump on the new person you're giving a chance? Let's give these guys a new chance with a better ecosystem and foundation around them to prove themselves. We're going to get to the defense in a second, but we got some young boys. We got 2 conflicting depth charts. What the fuck do y'all think that means? Is that gamesmanship? Is that a typo? Is that intentional? What do y'all think the 2 different depth charts mean? Because it has me a little bit befuddled. I'm not going to lie to you. It got me a little bit confused on this Tuesday afternoon. It has me about as perplexed as this we're not selecting team captains or putting C's on niggas' chest shit. I'm trying to understand it. If somebody understands what that means, let me know. I know ultimately the depth chart is just a piece of paper. Who else saw the depth chart tweet come out and said, that motherfucker real about to go live immediately? We are about to transition in 2025 to doing content full time. So I'm upping and ramping up the content for y'all. There will be some shit on this channel every day. This is now a daily Washington Commanders channel. Hold me to that shit because I plan on making content like a motherfucker all season. Nick Allegretti starting at guard. Tyler BetUS starting at center. Sam Cosmi at the other guard. And Andrew Wiley keeps his job. Andrew Wiley keeps his job at the right side tackle for now. We got to give everybody a chance, including trash can Andrew Wiley. We can't hold these people to the same expectations of the last regime and the last staff. What up, Sheen? Hey, I promise you, Sheen, when you log in after this stream, y'all gonna have some members badges. I got some fly ass alternate logos and all that stuff. Sorry, but I don't think so either, but I'm giving him a chance. What else can we do? We can think whatever we want to about De'Ami Brown, about Emmanuel Ford, about everybody in this roster. Ultimately, we got to go root for these motherfuckers on Sunday. So at least let's go into, when the season starts, I'm going to start roasting motherfuckers. I'm going to start roasting people. So we don't have to pre-roast. Let it happen first. We got 240 in the chat on an impromptu Tuesday afternoon stream. Smash that like button. If you're not subbed up to the channel yet, what are you doing? Subscribe. Gamesmanship, or we're running the ball a lot since Brown and McCaffrey are starting. No, I don't think they're both starting. One depth chart says one starting on the outside, and the other one says the other one is. Also, it's going to rain on Sunday in Tampa Bay, so we could be running a lot, but maybe we shouldn't read too much into that. But I think it's a fluid situation because the air raid utilizes 4 to 5 receivers on a regular basis anyway. So it really doesn't matter who's starting on the outside opposite Terry. But I love that Luke is there. Luke's in bold letters. I love to see rookies there. So first takeaway of the offensive side of the ball. Let's fully break down the offensive side. All of our new acquisitions and rookies that we targeted this offseason are 100% starting so far. Brandon Coleman starting at left tackle. Nick Allegretti, new acquisition from Kansas City. We gave him a chance to be a starter here. We gave him a 3-year contract, won the job. Tyler BetUS, we chose him to be the starting center. He is the starting center. There was never any questions about it. Nick Gates, we were questioning during training camp, should he be the guy? Never had to worry about that with Tyler BetUS. Zach Ertz, brought him over because he's going to steward our young boy, Ben Sinnott, and our young tight end room because he speaks the language of the offense. He speaks it as his mother tongue. He played with Cliff Kingsbury in Arizona. If he's healthy, that is your X factor in 2024. I said that in my podcast with Lake Lewis yesterday. Zach Ertz is the X factor because what is the ultimate security blanket for a young quarterback? The tight end position. And we finally have a guy. Even though Zach Ertz is old, I don't care. 7 days out of the week, 365 days a year, 366 on a leap year. I'm taking Zach Ertz over Logan Thomas. Bless Logan Thomas's heart. Beautiful family, great locker room leader. Great guy. Loved him when he was here. Never loved him as a player. Zach Ertz, even at this stage of his career, is a real inline starting tight end. And Ben Sinnott looks like he can be Cooley 2.0. So I cannot think of too many guys we could have acquired to better steward our young tight end into greatness. Zach Ertz is going to be a bigger part of this offense than a lot of people anticipate. A signing that I will admittedly say, upon reaction, Olamide Zaccheaus comes in and wins the starting slot receiver job. Hands up for Olamide Zaccheaus. I said camp body when we signed him. Wrongo. Big wrong. Don't listen to me. Olamide Zaccheaus has been the second best receiver in training camp for the Washington Commanders. That boy looked good, and his effort is crazy. His effort is really good. You heard Lake on my podcast tell you how he was hustling while Jahan Dotson was pouting and stomping around and going half speed during punt return. Olamide Zaccheaus said, I'm making this roster. Colson Yankov will only get better this year. Absolutely as well. Two of our undrafted guys who made the final roster. You love to see it, but we're going through the offensive starters, and then we're going to work our way to the backup. So on the outside, Luke McCaffrey. The McCaffrey bloodline goes strong. I know Ed McCaffrey, Easy-E. I know he's somewhere having a nice scotch right now with his feet kicked up, smoking on a Cohiba, because his one son is the offensive player of the year, the best running back in the entire league. And his other son, Luke McCaffrey, in his rookie year, third-round pick from Rice, only a couple years removed from playing quarterback, won a starting job in his rookie year as the outside receiver opposite Terry McLaurin. Shout the fuck out to Luke McCaffrey. And I don't think that diminishes or relegates De'Ami Brown's involvement in this offense. De'Ami Brown has a clear niche and role in this offense, and I think him and Luke McCaffrey are going to have a similar snap share for the 2024 season. Shout out to Luke, y'all. Throw some Lukes in the chat. Throw a bunch of U's in that shit. Throw some Lukes in the chat, baby. Let's go. Let's go. OZ definitely been balling. And I know y'all remember the blackout game a couple seasons ago where we beat the Falcons when Mariota was the quarterback. Olamide Zaccheaus went for about 100 yards receiving on us that day, and it took a Daron Payne deflected Kendall Fuller interception for us to beat the Atlanta Falcons. So we've seen Olamide do it before. He was in a log jam crowded receiver room in Philadelphia, similar to Noah Brown's receiver room in Houston last year. So guys are going to get opportunities on this team. We're about to get to the offensive backups before moving to the defensive side of the ball in just a second. But shout out to Luke. We got to get some cool chants going. Remember Cooley? We used to sound like we was born, but we were saying Cooley. Shout out to Luke McCaffrey. You love to see it. I trust the genetics, man. Ed McCaffrey was a bad boy, man. Ed McCaffrey was a bad boy. Absolutely. So just to one more time outline the depth chart if you're just now getting here. Luke McCaffrey, Terry McLaurin on the outside. Olamide Zaccheaus in the slot. Zach Ertz at tight end. Brian Robinson Jr. is your starting running back, and you know you can count us as having two because Eckler is also a starting running back. He is the receiver threat. He is the red zone threat, all that. Austin Eckler is 11 touchdown receptions away from being the most touchdown receptions in the history of the game for a running back. So don't discount Eckler as well. On the offensive line, Tyler Biadasz is starting at center. Your tackles are left tackle, rookie out of TCU, Brandon Coleman. Wrongo again. You know what I said on draft night? I said he's too fleet-footed. I said he looked like a thumb. I said he's going to play guard. He came out and won the tackle job. Brandon Sheriff, when we drafted him at 5, was supposed to be a tackle, and it took Jake Gruden all of 2 practices to say, oh, this nigga is a guard. Extra R's in it. Guard. Like a pirate. Brandon Coleman practiced for a while, and they never said the word guard with him. Adam Peters said it with his chest, said it emphatically. This guy is a tackle. and they put their money where their mouth is, that is your starting tackle, despite the fact that you did not see him play one preseason rep at tackle, nor did you see him in the joint practices. So at one side, Brandon Coleman. At right tackle, Andrew Wiley. I know people want to see Cornelius Lucas, but they're still paying Andrew Wiley to be the starting right tackle, so they need to see something out of that guy. I think the O-line doesn't have to be great. They just have to be adequate. They have to be league average, and that is all Jaden Daniels will need. All Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury will need, because we have enough run game and we have enough pass catching options to get the ball out of the quarterback hands quick. And most importantly, your starting fucking quarterback, Jaden Daniels, rookie quarterback. Did y'all hear Todd Bowles? Todd Bowles sounds afraid. I'm sorry. Todd Bowles sounds like he knows what's coming in there Sunday afternoon. It was like, I can't just focus on the rookie quarterback. We're facing a team there. He called us the old team name. I'm not going to sit here and talk about that because I really don't fucking care. I see some people, they got an erection because he called us the Redskins. We all know what the team used to be called. Todd Bowles used to play here from 86 through 90. So no surprise he called us that. But he spoke of Jaden Daniels. He talked about how fast he gets the ball out of his hands. He talked about how crispy his ball placement is. Todd Bowles sounds like he knows what's coming in that building. He's 10-5 versus rookie quarterbacks. I don't count one of them, so call it 10-4, because one of those games was versus Desmond Ridder when they rested their starters for the playoffs. But to be perfectly honest, Desmond Ridder puts his battery in his back when he played against Todd Bowles' Tampa Bay defense. Desmond Ridder's best 3 performances in this league all came versus the Bucs, and he beat them last year as the starting quarterback for the Falcons. Desmond Ridder has a game of 350, a game of 250 passing, and 40 yards rushing versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you could say a quarterback with some type of mobility may be a problem versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What up, George? What up, my boy? George Templeton in the building. My guy. Johnny Newton, the backup, though? Yes, sir. That means that boy's on the active roster. We're going to get to the defense in just a second, George. But let me finish off this Jaden Daniels soliloquy that we can keep it pushing. CJ Stroud, also from the IE, the Inland Empire, San Bernardino, California, like Jaden Daniels. CJ Stroud threw for 470 yards and 5 touchdowns on the Tampa Bay Bucs defense last year. They stymied Bryce Young and Will Levis last year, but we think our guys built a little different, you know? Hope we still draft a left tackle. Oh, I wouldn't be. Well, we got to see him at tackle first. If he's good at tackle, why are we going to move him? Why are we going to move? No pause, bro. Saying it with my chest today. But, yo, we're going to move on to the backups on the offensive side of the ball. Then we're going to move to the defense. The direct backup to Terry McLaurin, Noah Brown. We're going to see a lot of Noah Brown, y'all. He doesn't need to be called a starter. He's going to get a lot of balls thrown his way. That was crazy. I'm going to pause that one. Getting a lot of balls thrown your way is crazy. I'm sorry. That was a little crazy. Cornelius Lucas, swing tackle extraordinaire. This is what he gets paid to do. Chris Paul, also the swing guard, because they got him listed as the backup to both guards. Michael Dieter is your backup center. John Bates is listed as the backup tight end because he's the inline blocking tight end. And Sennett is going to be the one that spells both of those guys. Jamison Crowder is the backup to Olamide Zaccheaus in the slot, also going to be your starting returners. De'Ami Brown and Luke, I'll say they'll have a share of the other starting receiver spot. Marcus Mariota is your backup, and Austin Eckler. Let's move on to the defensive side of the ball. Let me move this graphic down a little bit. Let's move on to the defense. Come on now. All right, there we go. Let's move on to the defense. Your starting edge rushers, as I expected, Cleveland Farrell and Dorrance Armstrong. Dorrance Armstrong gave 7.5 sacks in a very limited role for Dallas last year in Dan Quinn's defense. He's starting now, so we should expect 7 to 10 sacks from Dorrance Armstrong. You got to. You have to. We paid him $15 million a year. You are our starting edge rusher. He should be the pass rusher that we have the most excitement for on this team in 2024. Cleveland Farrell is solid. He was reached for when the Raiders, Mike Mayock and John Gruden took him in the top 5 of the NFL draft, but he's a solid starter in this league. Cleveland Farrell kept y'all man off the field in San Francisco. Chase Young, 99, he kept him off the field in San Francisco, comes on down to Washington, and now he took that boy's jersey number. Cleveland Farrell in 99, those are your starting guys on the edge. The Alabama wall is still your defensive tackle group. Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne. You already know the vibrations here. The Alabama wall. Johnny Newton listed as John Allen's backup, Fadarian Mathis as Payne's backup. This also means Johnny Newton is on the active roster. Round of applause for that as well. We have not seen Johnny Newton in a game uniform yet. We've barely seen him in a practice uniform, but he is on the active roster and he's listed as a backup. You love to see it. Did Chris Rodriguez get picked up? I don't believe so, Jalen's dad. And shout out to you, by the way, my man Mike. What up, Mike? I wanted Farrell the year he was drafted, then he busted, and I was like, glad we didn't draft him. Yeah, for sure, glad we didn't draft him, but I'll take him right now as we're ushering in a new defense. We can use solid guys, high floor guys, because he's not terrible. He's not ass, but he's not great. He will do for now, and let's move on to the linebacker position. You already knew the vibes here. You knew who was starting at linebacker for this team. Washington ain't had linebackers in a minute. It feel like we ain't had linebackers since London Fletcher. We had linebackers in the coaching staff, though. Don't tell Ron and Jack Del Rio this, but they were both linebackers in the NFL. I think they forgot they were both linebackers in the NFL, but they were both middle linebackers in the NFL. And they decided to neglect that position until all eternity. It's almost like they had a stipulation in their contract that said, you will not be allowed to upgrade this position. This is the one position. It's like they put it in fine print. You cannot upgrade the linebacker position here. You will ignore it. And if you sign or draft a good one, we will fire you because, man, that shit was awful. We are going to be blessed this year watching Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu. And Frankie Louvu is going to be so much fun to watch because they're going to put him everywhere. They're going to have that boy on the edge. They're going to have that boy on the inside, on the outside, running stunts, running middle linebacker. They're going to have that boy running everywhere. That is the versatile chess piece of the defense. We got two of them, Frankie Louvu and Jeremy Chin. Two, what we going to call them, Commanders? Is Commanders triggering? Can I call them Commanders, or are we going to retire that term as well? But two Commanders are the two Swiss Army knives. And speaking of the other Commander, I'm looking at the safety starters. As we all expected, Jeremy Chin here on a 1-year prove-it deal, trying to find the success he had earlier in his career at Carolina before all the turnover and turmoil took place after David Tepper took over. Can we get Chin back to his rookie year where he was a rookie of the year candidate and there was an argument to be made against Chase Young for him to win rookie of the year? And we got formerly known Twitter fingers, Jartavius Quan Martin, starting at the free safety for Washington. I love it. I love it. One of the two final Mohicans of Ron's last draft class here in DC. We start in 5 D linemen or Fowler going to be dropping in coverage. I don't see Fowler dropping too many in coverage. I can see 5 on the line before I see that. I think they have Fowler listed as a linebacker solely because he doesn't put his hand in the dirt. He rushes from a stand-up position on the outside, but I could be wrong. I don't want to see Dante Fowler out in coverage. His only trick is pass rushing, so I need him to get to it. Commander PTSD. We got a lot of PTSD here, and what I'm going to try to get across the fans as we endure our first season in our new era, in our new aura, we can't let the past dictate our present because we can't get to the future if we do so. So let's not point to everybody on the roster and blame past mistakes for what's happening right now. Let's give everybody a chance. We got to give somebody a chance to knock us off our feet again, right? We want to be swept off our feet. We want a rose at the end of the night, and we're not getting one if we don't give people a chance. You know the vibration. Y'all gonna beat us week 2. I heard your last video. I don't see it. We still gonna beat you. Shout out to my boy Xavier, by the way, former Freedom Eagle. He's a New York boy, but we went to high school together. We went to the same alma mater, Woodbridge 703 in the building. And his son plays football. He's a young quarterback, by the way. Shout out to him and his little one. We're sweeping y'all, X. Let me go on a quick tangent. I know we're talking about the depth chart. Let me go on a quick tangent. We're sweeping the Giants. I'm going to say this I'm going to say this until I see us lose to these motherfuckers. We are sweeping the New York Giants. I want it clipped up 1,000 times, all of it. J.N. Daniels is getting that franchise out of here twice this year. Y'all are going to be the garbage can of the division this year. Fuck the New York Giants. Back to my roster. Xavier got me off track for a second. Let me reel it back in. The most interesting part of the defensive depth chart, the cornerback room, the vaunted cornerback room, the room we have all actively soured on and hated at all offseason. Emmanuel Praying Mantis Body Forbes wins the starting job on the outside opposite Benjamin St. Juste. That tells me one of two things. Michael Davis ain't it, and Emmanuel Forbes looks better. Also, the coaches that we have here, appreciate you. Get one of these on WSH on the daily. Go to their Instagram page. They have a link there. Washington on the daily. They got a ton of merch just like that. And shout out to the Heart of a Black Man Apparel, Woodbridge-based clothing line. But the cornerback room, my bad. Y'all know I go on tangents. Y'all know I jump off topic, but we reeled this shit back in. By the way, 582 in the chat right now. 552. I'm blind. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. There's no reason this stream cannot have 300 to 500 likes. Smash that like button. That would be very helpful for your boy. If you're not subbed up to the channel yet, subscribe to the channel. We are going full-time content this year. We are going to be here all day, every day. Your daily stop for anything Washington Commanders news on a raw, unfiltered basis. We ramble about Washington over here. Cornerback room. Shout out to Emmanuel Forbes. Joe Witt Jr. and Dan Quinn have a plan for Emmanuel Forbes. You may look in the mirror. I may look in the mirror and say, I don't fucking see it with Emmanuel Forbes. Shout out to you. We don't see it with Emmanuel Forbes. Coach Ego says, I can make it work. Reminder, in Dallas last year, they picked in the 20s. I want to say they were picking like 25th or 24th in the draft in 2023. They had Emmanuel Forbes atop their short list of players that they're expecting to draft in the 20s. They were shocked, perplexed, flabbergasted that we took Forbes with the 16th pick. They were anticipating taking Forbes in the first round. They ended up taking Mozzie Smith. So that tells me they saw something in Emmanuel Forbes as well. Would they have taken him at 16? Probably the fuck not, because they're not Ron Rivera and company. But maybe this is a sign of things to come. I did my year breakdown the other day. I said the player that will not be great, but the signs will start pointing up. Upward trajectory. Emmanuel Forbes, my prediction, 2 interceptions and a solid comeback season for Emmanuel Forbes this year. I had Lake Lewis on the show yesterday. Shout out to Lake Lewis Jr. Subscribe to his channel. He's on sportsjourney.com, Lake Lewis Jr. podcast. He said, I asked him the question, whose success would more directly correlate to winning in 2024 if they had a breakout this year? Dyami Brown or Emmanuel Forbes? He answered so fast, Emmanuel Forbes Jr. And what that told me is, we took this guy in the first round. I know they didn't draft him first round. He was drafted with a first round pick, and he was going to go first round most likely, even if Washington didn't take him, just not as early as Washington took him with the 16th pick. What if Emmanuel, they tried to tease us with this shit too. You see how they tried to sprinkle a little breadcrumb clip of Emmanuel Forbes guarding Dyami Brown in practice the other day. That was them breadcrumbing that he's starting. And they were not showing their hand in preseason. Forbes won the job. Dan Quinn, Joe Witt Jr. are no nonsense type motherfuckers. And they made guys go out and earn jobs this year. Just like Dotson lost his job, Emmanuel Forbes won his job. And I know we want to see it before we believe it. It's like I always say about the supernatural. I don't believe in ghosts and all that shit, but I don't want to fuck with that type of stuff and provoke it, because if I do see it, now I believe in it. We want to see Emmanuel Forbes actually put some production together before we can believe in the idea of Emmanuel Forbes as a starting cornerback. But there is a world that exists out there where he turns it around in 2024. You see, this is called objectivity. I had people sending me hate DMs, unsubbing the channel, subtweeting me. Oh, this Rio guy's a fucking hater. He's a clown. I hate him. Why do y'all watch him? He hates Emmanuel Forbes. Fam, first of all, I don't hate no player on my football team. I don't hate anybody. Secondly, we're allowed to hold these players accountable. We're the paying customer. We are the paying customer. As fans, we have a job to do to hold the team accountable. We can't be on our knees and glaze every single movement, transaction, and result the team puts out there. We've been miserable and starving for a turnaround for 25 plus years. You know what? It's more than 25 years. My birth year was the last time this team accomplished anything. I will be 33 next month. So that's 33 years of ass cheeks, 33 years of getting spanked in an embarrassing fashion. And then on top of it, off the field, the team's been an embarrassment. So don't say that we hate the players because we want to see more from them. Don't say that we hate the players because we took a guy in the first round and we want him to look like it. We're like the kid on Christmas watching everybody open their toys and we're not allowed to open ours. Deonte Banks is solid for New York. Joey Porter Jr. is good to solid for Pittsburgh. Christian Gonzalez, in the small sample size he showed New England last year, was more than solid. He looked like one of them ones. We want to play with our toys on Christmas too. Now, would I feel confident in Forbes or Mike Evans? No, sir. Put Benjamin St. Juste's big body, French Canadian, grabby ass on Mike Evans. I would more likely want to see Forbes on Chris Godwin, but Chris Godwin's going to be in the slot. So that is Mikey Sanders-Still's job. So who are we going to see Forbes on? Is it going to be Palmer? What is it, Trey Palmer? Is it Trey or Josh? I always get Trey Palmer and Josh Palmer mixed up. Is he going to be on Trey Palmer? Is he going to be on the rookie out of Washington, Jalen McMillan, Jalen Polk's old running mate from Washington? Just put him on the less big body guy. But I think the main idea here is we need to trust the tutelage of the coaches we brought in. The coaches we brought in, they put Trevon Diggs and Deron Bland in situations where interceptions are thrown right to their bread basket, right to their numbers, hit them right in the number. It's almost like the quarterback's throwing the ball right to them. They're going to put these guys, they're going to scheme up ways for these guys to jump passes. Appreciate you for the $4.99 donation, Roderick. Just a reminder again for channel members, as soon as I get off stream, I have a whole folder of new member badges and new emojis y'all can use in the chat. I will be updating it. Going forward, we're treating this channel like it's my full-time job. I'm going to fine-tune. The visuals, as you can see, are getting a boost. The audio is getting a boost. My graphics are already clean. We're trying to make this a professional looking operation over here. I can't have y'all rocking my old logo on the channel member badges no more. I got a whole new folder of channel badges for y'all. We about to pull them out. But why Luke over Diami? Great question, Roderick. Because the coach has seen something. Also, if you weren't here earlier in the stream, Ben Standick points out that there are adjacent multiple depth charts. One depth chart says Diami starting. One depth chart says Luke McCaffrey starting. Johnny Newton going to have a great year coming in for Deron and John. Y'all heard me and Lake talking about Johnny Newton yesterday. I love me some Johnny Newton, man. Lake Lewis said, I don't want to say it, but he sees Aaron Donald type comps for him. That was a first round pick that we got in the second round. That's why we had to take him, despite the fact that we all look like, why the fuck did we take a D tackle? Because we need blue chip talent. Washington has been devoid of blue chip, I'm not blue collar. Washington has been devoid of blue chip A-list talent for quite some time. So you can't get mad when we have a first rounder staring us in the face. I can't wait. Appreciate that comment, Tiana. What up, Unc? Commanders Chaplain Rev Rashid Fry. What's going on, man? Absolutely, absolutely. Appreciate it. Appreciate all of you. Everybody that pulls up in the comments, everybody that pulls up to these live streams. Look at the beauty and the hype of week 1 football. Look at all of these sick people in this chat and look at this sick man on the microphone. We got almost 600 people on a 1:00 afternoon stream just because the depth chart came out. If the team wants to see how the fans are feeling, we're hyped. We're anticipated. We're ready to see real change in DC. Everybody's at work for the most part. You're watching this from the cubicle. You're watching this wherever you are, at the gym. You're not, most of you probably aren't home, and you're still locked in with your boy because we all got that burgundy and gold fever. We got the sickness, and we can't wait to hell to some goddamn Commanders and strike that band up on Sunday afternoon. Y'all heard Queen Sheen. Smash that like button. With almost 600 people in the chat, there's no reason this shouldn't have 400 to 500 likes by the time we get through the end of it. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you subscribe. But we're talking about this roster. 4 rookie starters. I haven't even listed the 4th one yet. Mikey Sainristil, slot cornerback extraordinaire. Nick Saban's pound for pound best football player in the 2024 draft class, Mikey Sainristil. Rocking that oh so icy number 0. Shout out to Mikey Missile Sainristil. Missile Mikey. I like the sound of that. That guy is a dog. So we got 2 rookies starting for us that played a different football position less than 5 years ago. Luke McCaffrey was a quarterback 4 years ago. Mikey Sainristil was a wide receiver. They all play different positions now. Luke is now a wideout. Mikey Sainristil is now a slot corner, and he's not just a slot corner, he's a damn good one. That is one of those picks where there is like a unanimous consensus amongst the fan base, amongst the media, amongst the prognosticators and media pundits worldwide that we hit it out the park with. Mikey Sainristil on the inside. If he had a couple more inches of height, not a pause, I said height, not a pause. Don't AO me. If he had a couple more inches of height, that is your number 1 corner easily. And I see people starting the conversation, should Washington start Mikey Sainristil on the inside? Now, if push comes to shove, maybe you have that conversation. But my thoughts on that is let's pump the fucking brakes. If he specializes at something, his full rookie year, wouldn't we all want to see him do what he specializes in? I'm tired of the days in Washington where guys have a superpower and we bring them here and make them do things that contradict their superpower. You're a great man corner. Fine. Come here and play zone. You're a great man corner. I mean, if you're a great zone corner, come here and play man. You play great on the outside. Get in the slot. You play good on the inside. Get on the outside. You're a pass-catching running back. Here, tote the rock 30 times like you're fucking Derrick Henry. I'm tired of seeing Washington put Bamas in places where their best attribute is not going to be utilized. So before we start that Mikey Sainristil playing on the outside shit, can we at least see a year of him at what he does best. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see a year of Mikey Sanders still dominate slot receivers. I want to see a year of it. There's no join button. I will have that back. I will have all of this out here. I'm figuring it all out, but it should be there in a second. I'm gonna get all of my channel membership shit worked out this season. Inches is kind of crazy. Hey, but I said of height, but a little bit taller. You know, you know what I'm doing. You know what the vibes are. We content curating, creating. You know how the vibes go. We're over 600 in the chat. Smash that like button. I want that 500 like goal today. Mikey Sanders still, David said, Sanders still reminds me of Hall of Famer Darrell Green. Yep, because he's slight of size as well. He's fast, but Mikey Sanders still is not Darrell Green fast. Darrell Green was crackhead fast. Darrell Green was world-class speed, no allows fast. No allows without the corny. But I want to see Mikey Sanders still do his thing on the inside. I want to see him jamming motherfuckers. I want to see Mikey Sanders still running the ones and running Jahan Dotson a fade. We got Philly twice. I want Mikey Sanders still putting Jahan Dotson in the gulag. I want him to be in a straitjacket for 60 minutes. I want Jahan Dotson's life to be hell twice a year when number 0 runs them ones across the field from him. But appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. My man Mason said Rio's a beast. He should be hosting that show with Fred and Santana. Oh, Brian Colbert Jr. Everybody hates Brian Colbert Jr. Why does everybody hate Brian Colbert Jr.? I think it's because the show, it's still great content because of the players' personality is amazing. But I do think that show desperately misses Julie Donaldson because it added a touch different, you know? He said, keep Sanders still on the inside. He's closer to everything else to make a difference all over the field. If you put him on the exactly, he's isolated, and I don't want to do that to him. While Forbes was bad his rookie year, I think we put Forbes in a lot of not fire situations. I put him in a lot of we put him in a lot of not advantageous and for we put him in a lot of not advantageous situations. Like, it seems like, I know as a rookie first rounder, salute to everybody, by the way. I know as a rookie first rounder, we look at these guys like, you got to get out there and start immediately. But putting this bony, frail body boy on AJ Brown's, Arthur Juan Brown's monstrous ass was malpractice. Like, and then they kept putting him on that island. Like, what are we doing? Rio, do you think Cliff was doing the same thing with Luke that Jay Gruden did with Hyde and Terry? Great point, Bradley. And shout out Bradley right now. That's one of my day ones as well. What's good with you, my guy? Maybe he was. Maybe the trick was, we're not showing y'all what we're really working with here. We're going to have Luke go run with Jeff Driscoll and play against Forex and Bitcoin miners. And you're not expecting him to be an impact player for this team. Remember, only 5 practices were open to fans this year. So we have no idea what this team looks like. So just like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and every other team on Washington's schedule this year, they are a mystery to the league. So a team coming in and saying, okay, what's the scouting report on Luke McCaffrey? No fucking clue, because he just started playing receiver a couple years ago, and he didn't start any games for Washington in the preseason. We haven't even seen Jaden Daniels' timing with Luke McCaffrey yet. So there's no scouting report yet. What you going to do, pull his father's scouting report, pull out Christian McCaffrey's receiving cut-ups and say, that's the one. That's the one right there. But I like it, man. I like it. Bold prediction for E. I see Sanders still lining up at least one snap on offense this year. I can see it because he was a receiver at Michigan as well. Julie was lit. Hell yeah, Sheen. Love Julie. Julie is not sweating not being here no more, though. Julie, of course, she wants to be here. She still rocks the gear. Julie been on like a 6-month vacation. I texted her the other day. We were having a conversation. Julie is at peace. Julie is enjoying vacation. She definitely missed the team, but She is in very good spirit. She's been in every country known to man, stamping her passport worldwide. So I'm sure she is not sulking over the fact that she is not with this team anymore. Forbes became an instant meme. Sure did. And it just kept getting memeable because the body language, he looked so defeated after it. I probably would have been as well. But no, I wouldn't have, because I have a delusional amount of confidence in myself. I don't think I could be shot even if I look bad doing something. So, yeah, when it was downhill for Forbes, they put him up against AJ. But yeah, they like cemented it. They were like, this boy is not just dead. Push him deeper into the grave. Throw some dirt over that motherfucker and let's make a campfire. That's what they did with Emmanuel Forbes last year. Forbes became, that shit was funny, but it's not funny though. That shit was sad as hell. Julie had the yams, no lie. Gucci belt Julie, you know. I miss Julie, man. But Brian Colbert Jr., we hope the Command Center show. I think the thing with Brian Colbert Jr. is he tries like to try to fit in like one of the players. Like, be yourself, my guy. It seems like he tries to feel like he was a part of the same locker rooms they were. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hell, DC Stars, hell at Washington on the daily, Instagram and store on the website. Get you one of these. What up, Josh? He said, love your content. Look forward to your videos all the time. I appreciate that. And I appreciate every single one of you that pulled up to this live stream today. It wasn't planned. I didn't know the depth chart was coming out today, but we're taking an approach this season. I want to start doing content full time. So we're ramping up the content this year. There will be lots of watch parties, like for the Ravens-Chiefs game Thursday. I will be live through that game. Through the Packers-Eagles game Friday, I'll be live through that game. And on Sunday, we're doing an all-day watch party where I'm starting at 1 p.m. and we're going all the way through Washington's game that'll probably finish around 7:30. And I'll probably schedule my post-game show to be 45 minutes to an hour after our game finishes, because I need a little bit of time to use the bathroom, to put a little extra something in my stomach, you know, the vibrations. But we are making this channel full-time work. And to do that, we got to up the content. We got to up the graphic. We got to up the visuals. We got to up the sound, all the shebang. We're doing that in 2024. But let's get back to this roster. We talked about the offensive side of the ball, starters and backups. Let's talk about the defensive backups. So we went through the whole starting unit. Jamin Davis, primary starting backup on the edge to Cleveland Farrell. We talked about the defensive tackles. They have Dante Fowler listed as a starting outside linebacker. They're going to be playing around with the base defense because Dante Fowler is not a stand-up off-ball backer. He's a pass rusher. So I'm curious to see how that works. They have Dominique Hampton backing him up at the same role. Michael Walker, special teams ace. Don't expect to see too much Michael Walker at Mike backer. And also, once Jordan McGee is off the PUP list or injured reserve or whatever list they have him on, he will be your third primary backer. They had plans to play him and utilize his skill set immediately. This year, Marcus says, I definitely believe in this team to have a good year. Let's go. I'm fired up as well. I'm fired up. Y'all should all be fired up, Commanders Nation. Look how fired up we are. We are on a Tuesday afternoon starving for this shit. We got over 600 people in a live stream on a Tuesday afternoon just because the depth chart got released. So if you don't believe that fans are fired up and fans are ready to see what the new iteration of Washington football looks like, I don't know what to tell you, but we're looking at this roster. We've went all the way through the offensive side. We're finishing up on defense, and then we're going to hit the special team side of it as well. Any more interesting things on the defensive side? Michael Davis is listed as the primary outside corner on both sides, kind of like Chris Paul was at guard. Noah Igbenogany is the backup slot receiver. And while we're here, we might as well touch on it one more time. Noah Igbenogany being issued the number 1 is absolutely malpractice. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it so freaking much. Rio said about Brian what we're all thinking. Yep. No problem with the dude. It just, his energies, he seems like an AI created host. Like if you put black man with dreads and glasses TV host in Chat GBT, it would spit out Brian Colbert Jr. Like, I don't got no issue with the dude. He seems like a great guy. He's a father as well. Salute to him. Seems like a great guy. Seems like a very positive guy. But he just seems to me like a Chat GPT TV host. Like he was made in the lab rather than a natural host of a TV show. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. The defense, Noah Igbenogany wearing number 1. That's my only complaint. Derek Forrest is the backup strong safety. Jeremy Reeves is the backup free safety. And Tyler Owens and Percy Butler are the third stringers at each position. They have Tyler Owens listed as a strong safety backup. Tyler Owens has a linebacker body, cornerback speed, so I can see why strong safety may better suit him in this defense going forward. I get it, and I dig it. That is your defensive side of the ball. Let's move this shit over to the specialist. We don't have to spend too long on the specialist, though. Y'all know what it is. Tress Way, your punter. I don't know why they still have him number 5 on here. That is the quarterback's number. Tress will now be sporting his new digs in number 10. And at kicker, Cade York. Everybody cross your fingers and form a prayer circle because we're hoping that Cade York is our kicker for all eternity. He's still a 23-year-old guy, a couple years removed from being a 4th-round pick. Being a mid-round pick at kicker means you got a leg on you. You can boot that shit. Please boot it. And please boot it actually. Please don't get here and forget how to kick like we had a long snapper get here and forget how to long snap. Appreciate you, Unc, for joining as a member again. I promise you, I will have member perks rolled out for y'all going forward because being a member helps the channel. As soon as I get off this stream, I'll be uploading new member badges, new stickers and emojis y'all can use. Whole 9. What up, Derek? My boy Derek, aka Roy Black. Wish we could start a Commanders content network and do it full time and make a living off it. Hell yeah. Like, until we do, I'm trying to go full time with this content shit. I'm trying to go all in on it. So there's going to be hella content coming out on this channel all season, whenever news breaks, all of that shit. All of that shit. I would have a good time. I don't know if I'm ready to host a TV show because I didn't go to school for it. I only went to school for communications for like 6 semesters. So I'm not exactly polished or media trained, but I think I could do it if I got a crack at it. And I know not to cuss on TV. I think I would be sorry, Dragon nephew. One love. No worries, man. No worries at all, my guy. No worries to anybody. It is all positive vibes right now. Tyler Owens will start by week 4. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe, though. He was definitely made in a lab, like my guy Anthony said. Percy Butler, 3rd string. Interesting. Percy Butler, I said this on the channel before. I'll say it again. Percy Butler is uncontrolled chaos. I think the style of defense Joe Witt and Quinn are trying to preach is controlled chaos. They want killers. They want headhunters. They want guys who come downhill 100 miles per hour to crack domes, but they want it controlled. Percy Butler is probably, if not the fastest guy on the team, the 2nd fastest guy on the team. The problem is he doesn't know what to do when he gets home. He gets home and then gets lost. He's not quite Bakari Rambo taking the worst angles I've ever seen, but it's not far from it. He gets in the backfield and he misses tackles, or he's just a step late in coverage. If he can learn how to channel that speed and control it, maybe we can see something out of the former Louisiana Raging Cajun safety. But until then, I don't know about all that. We waited 4 long years to finally redo this team once again, and we definitely should be hyped for the season. We will never look how we looked before ever again. Real shit. Very real shit. Put this tweet and put this comment in all caps. I believe that shit wholeheartedly. He's a good dude. He's definitely a great guy. He seems like a phenomenal guy. But he can get critiqued just like these players do. Tyler Owens ain't going to be a backup for long. He coming for somebody's spot. So if somebody on the back end isn't doing their job, he'll be out there. I think our defense personally will be 2nd stringer. We'll see. Let me see. Shout out to my guy CB. What up, my boy? How is Miami Dolphins Nation feeling down there for week 1? You can mess around and sneak up on some team. Hey, we trying to, man. We trying over here. See, win total isn't necessarily the priority in year 1. We're trying to shock some folks. We get the element of surprise on our side. No one really knows what we got shaking, what we got cooking here in DC right now, but that's going to work in our favor. Shout out to my guy. If you want, sub him up as well, too. Whenever I bring collaborators on the channel, I want y'all to sub those guys up and follow them as well. CB played college football at Howard University with the guy I had on last night, DMV Fanatic, the Dallas Cowboy representative. He played college football with him at Howard University. So he knows the DMV culture very well. Whenever I bring people on the channel, I plan to have them on as regulars. So whenever our teams have to do anything, or if we want to just check in with them, it's family. So CB is a part of the community and part of the Rambling family now. So go ahead and sub my guy up as well. He does great content. His shit looks great, sounds great. And good luck to your Miami Dolphins. I hope and wish success on you guys when the temperature is above 58 degrees. Let's see if y'all can do that this year. Had to get a shot in. You always got to start with love before you hate a little bit. Igbenogany not wearing 19 anymore. He is not. He's wearing number 1. See, what happens is when there's 99 players on an NFL roster to start the off season, you see duplicates of numbers. You see wild ass numbers for positions those numbers would never be worn for. But once the rosters trim down to 53, they do a roll call in the equipment manager room, and you have to come lock in and update your number if you're not guaranteed, because a lot of numbers become available once roster cuts are made. So Noah Igbenogany entered the equipment manager's office and said, he entered the equipment manager's office and said, I want number 1. Give me Jahan Dotson's old jersey. Yikes. Big yikes. But we're going to see about that. Maybe he houses some shit for us this year. Take a look at yesterday's video. It's worth watching and very valuable information about this team. One of Rio's best videos yet, I appreciate that, Jacob. That video I did with Lake Lewis, 46-minute conversation detailing everything you need to know about the Washington Commanders going into the 2024 season. Also, if any news or if anything comes out while we're on stream, drop that shit in the chat, by the way. What you think St. Juice is going to do in this defense? I think the plan, I don't know necessarily what he's going to do. I think the plan is for him to be CB1. The plan is for Benjamin St. Juice to be the featured corner. Whether that's going to be good for us, to be determined. But he fits the profile to a T of what a Dan Quinn cornerback looks like. 6'3", length, long arms, grabby. If they can just make him a little less grabby and put him in some positions to actually jump a route and get some ball production, St. Juice could be a good corner in this league. St. Juice isn't ass. He's not great either, but he's not trash. He's actually shown some solid ability as a cornerback in this league. He's just far too fucking grabby, and you never see him in position to jump up there and take the ball away. Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr., they like nice things. They preach turnovers. They went to a Dallas team who had a shit secondary and a shit defense in totality and turned them into a top 3 to 5 unit over the last couple years. He never has on any Redskin apparel. He never gives a story of any games he's been to, nor has anyone else ever seen him at a game. None of the players know him. He's an NFL plant vegetable. Oh man! All right, we got to chill on Brian Cooper Jr. That's a good guy. Let me stop fueling that flame over here, man. Jaden Daniels is about to go off. Okay, since we've went through the roster, hold on. We can get into Jaden Daniels hype session. let me just finish up this roster, and then I can put this away, and we can just talk. Tress Way is your punter. Cade York, kicker. Tyler Ott, long snapper. Prayer circle again. Let's hope we never have to hear the name Tyler Ott ever again. Ever. Never have to say his name. I want it to be like we got Men in Black zapped and we never heard this motherfucker ever again. Because a long snapper, you shouldn't know who he is unless he's like Nick Sundberg and does a lot for the community. Your starting kick returner, Byron Pringle, with Olamide Zaccheaus backing him up, and your starting punt returner, which is going to be Jamison Crowder's full-time job here, is going to be Jamison Crowder. That is your 2024 Washington Commanders depth chart going into week 1. That pretty much wraps up the depth chart. How are we feeling out here right now? What are the vibes going on right here, right now? We got 592 in the chat. Smash that like button if you have not already done so. Hit subscribe to the channel. Join as a channel member. I'm going to have new channel badges updated as soon as I get off stream. How are we doing? What up, Simba? You and Josh Taylor, the reason I'm making Commanders content. Keep up the grind, my boy. These are the comments I live for, because anytime someone hits me up and says, how do I get into content creation? There's no getting into it. You just go for it. You just go for it. You open your computer up and you start going. There are times where I'm recording, you don't even see my face on screen. I've started with a $30 Yeti microphone using a webcam from a computer. It doesn't matter what it looks or sounds like when you start. Just start. Open the computer up, hit record, run some practice tests, learn how to be on camera, learn what your style of hosting is going to be like. Like me personally, my style is erratic. I'm very spontaneous. My streams can come at any times. I'm going to try to start getting a set schedule, but life be lifing. I'm all over the place. I'm like controlled chaos when I host. I can take the conversation A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but at the end of the day, I'm going to get it back on track. We're going to go on tangents, but we reel it back in and we keep it going in a linear way to get through each show. If you want to start content creation, just do it. I ain't nobody. I'm a regular motherfucker in the Northern Virginia area from the DMV. My whole family's from DC. I'm a regular fan just like you, with a computer open, a ring light pointing at me, and a microphone in front of me. Anybody can do this shit. And there's space out here in this content world for all of us to do so. So I love to see posts like that. Rio, how long have I had my podcast? I recorded my first podcast episode in March 2021. I recorded my first YouTube video on June 26th, 2021. So 3 years. This is my 4th season, but 3rd year. June will be the end of my 3rd year. So we're in year 3, season 4 of Rambling About Washington, Rambling with Rio, and now the Rio Robinson YouTube channel. I decided not to name my channel after the show. The channel is me. I am the channel. I am the show. Therefore, Rio Robinson, and my face is what you see when you click on the channel. That's another thing I'd recommend. When you do your channel, instead of putting your channel as your show name I would just use your name and use a picture and have a banner that has your show name in it or something like that. But those are just my recommendations. I'm no expert. And as far as I'm concerned, this is going to sound facetious to some people. I still have a very small channel, and I want my channel to be so much bigger. I want a silver play button behind me one day. A silver play button is the YouTube silver plaque you get for receiving 100,000 subscribers. I expect one of those to be on my wall one day, but that's enough talking about me. Let's talk about our quarterback, Mr. Jayden Daniels, the guy with all the aura in the world. We are going into our first game of the Jayden Daniels era. How excited are we? Just look at him. Look at the swagger, the confidence, the aura that exudes from this guy. He's like a Super Saiyan. Look at him. Just look. This is our life now. We've been through it all. We've been through it all. I'm not going to go down that laundry list of quarterbacks that have come through here today, because we deserve better than to keep talking about that shit. We need to live in the right now. We need to live in the right now. We should be winning games, bro. Not accepting nothing less. Yeah, man. Title or nothing for the Dolphins, no doubt. A 15-yard consequences, but wreak havoc, fear the name. You touch the ball, you need a medic afterward. I know they're trying to raise killers. Like Joe Witt said, anyone, anywhere, anytime. Appreciate you for joining up the channel. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for joining the family. Let's go. Y'all are gonna, next time I go live tomorrow for the game preview with James of Mr. Bucks Nation, y'all will have new channel member badges and new emojis and stickers y'all can put on screen. But let's talk about our quarterback, y'all. Let's talk about our quarterback, y'all. Jayden motherfucking Daniels. I was listening to Todd Bowles speak yesterday. I see a look in his eye. I think we're about to hit him over the head with something they're not ready for. I know he's good against rookie quarterbacks for the most part, 10-5 in his career. And I know they handled Bryce Young and Will Levis last year. But this ain't that. This is CJ Stroud-esque. Better running CJ Stroud-esque. CJ Stroud gave that defense all hell last year. Desmond Ridder gave that defense all hell last year. Desmond Ridder is somewhere working at your local Jiffy Lube or Michelin Tire. That is not an NFL quarterback anymore. Jayden Daniels is going to give Todd Bowles a fucking headache on Sunday because Todd Bowles leads one of the more blitzing defense in the entire league. I'm looking at their blitz rate from 2024. Hold up, I got it somewhere. Hold up. Their blitz rate. Todd Bowles likes to blitz to the point that the Bucks have never dropped below third in blitz rate. In 2023, the Buccaneers blitz rate was 45% with a pass rushing blitz rate of 50%. They are blitzing almost half the time against the pass. Go ahead and try that shit if you want to with a quarterback like Jayden that makes snappy decisions, that has a quick release, and has even quicker feet. Go ahead and try that shit if you want to. Bro, look how fly he looks in that black uniform. Look at the smoke visor. Look at this guy. My cousin said it seems like I've been doing it for 8 years. A lot of people that know. I appreciate that, man. That's love. Shout out to your cousin. Shout out to your cousin as well. Because I had been anticipating starting this channel for probably since I was like 22, 23 years old. But, man, this is what I do. I talk, I ramble, I yap, and I know a little bit about ball. I don't try to be an expert. That's why when I see people, oh, this guy thinks he knows everything. No, I don't. I'm just a fan speaking my opinion and my experience from football, you know? I'm no expert. I don't know no more about ball than any of y'all in this chat. But we know how to curate content, and we keep it good vibes over here. But Jayden Daniels, man, doesn't it feel like that excitement you felt in 2012? Remember how, like, we didn't really know what to expect from RG3's rookie game. We come out New Orleans, Mercedes-Benz Superdome, in a pistol set, running screens and quarterback options, college style spread. And I'm like, whoa, we didn't see any. I went out to training camp twice that year. I didn't see them run that shit one time at training camp. So I always go back to Grant and Danny, Grant H. Paulson on social media, the Grant and Danny show. He's hit or miss with the Commanders fan base. That's my guy. I fuck with Grant. And he said the equipment manager, it was either the equipment manager or the custodian, someone that works inside Redskins Park, told him, what y'all about to see today has never been done in this league before. And Grant was like, what do you mean by that? And he was like, oh, no, watch what they're about to do with this kid. The shit they're about to do with 10 is about to change the league. And Grant said, the fuck does that mean? And then we come out in this college offense and we come out striking on Bamas. We started 3-6 and ended up 10-6, but we had defenses on their heels that entire year. I think we're going to get that on steroids with Jayden Daniels because, one, Jayden's better than Robert as a passer coming out. Robert has a little more torque to his arm, but Jayden is more together mechanically, innately as a thrower. I also think Jayden picks his run lanes better, but we're not here to go bad on Robert right now. We're here to talk about our current quarterback, Jayden Daniels. Jayden has a better ecosystem and foundation around him. He had Kyle Shanahan calling those plays, but The roster was ass. Our cupboard was bare. Alfred Morris hooped while he was here, but a lot of that was predicated and paired and married to Robert's success as a runner. Defenses had nightmares of Robert pulling the ball and running, so Alfred had clear running lanes. Cliff Kingsbury gets his second attempt at. I'm gonna give my projected score tomorrow, but y'all can drop y'all's in the chat right now. Tomorrow night, 7:30. Make sure y'all pull up for the game preview. Mr. Bucks Nation. I think he's just under 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. He will be on here. He's a really good Bucks content creator. We're going to be previewing it and giving predictions about the game. Back on subject to Jaden Daniels, the ecosystem around him. Cliff Kingsbury. He doesn't have the weight of the world on his shoulders. He doesn't have to worry about cutting players or what does the special teams look like or the defensive guy, checking in on guys' mental health, all that. He could just call plays and work with the quarterback. He is tied to and married to Jaden Daniels, and we're going to reap the benefits of that. Say what you want. Kyler Murray is a good quarterback, but as a play caller, you have to be very nuanced and creative to create passing lanes when your quarterback's 5'9". I know they got Kyler listed at like 5'11". I've seen that nigga in person before. Kyler Murray is 5'9". 5'9". That is a 5'9" quarterback. He is 5'8.5" without shoes on. And when your linemen are all 6'4", 6'5", some of them are 6'6", 6'7", you have to be creative and spread things out. I know the air raid requires wider splits than normal offense. They had to be even wider than that in Arizona to create passing lanes for Kyler's midget ass to throw the football. But Kyler still went crazy in his rookie year. Kyler Murray with Cliff Kingsbury during his rookie year. 64% completion percentage, just under 3,800 passing yards, 20 passing touchdowns, 544 rush yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. So it's fair to expect north of 3,000 yards in Jaden's rookie season. It's fair to expect 20 plus passing touchdowns in Jaden Daniels' rookie season. It's fair to expect 500 plus rush yard. You don't want him to have to run, but where we want Jaden to pick up his yards as a rusher, where we want him to put on his yards as a rusher is on pass plays when thing breaks down. I don't want to see him getting 10 designed runs every week. I want him to kill defenses. Remember what Dan Quinn told us very early in the draft process that made people think, oh, it's definitely Jaden Daniels. Not only did he say he's a game changer, he says his ability to move snatches the soul of a defense. He called Jaden Daniels a soul snatcher. And then JP Finley went on air and asked, you said Jaden likes to suck the soul. Like, yo, yeah, he made it real crazy. Like, he didn't even say it like that, but he said his legs and mobility will take the soul of defenses watching. If you send a blitz and he gets past it, if you have everybody covered to one side of the field and you leave a naked 30 yards of daylight for Jaden Daniels to take off on a pass play, it's finito. It is curtains for you. Off rip. He's gone in a heartbeat. So running is his second option. He doesn't have to run, but he's going to kill you with his legs as well. Everybody should be ultra, uber fucking excited for Jaden Daniels. Everybody make plays, Jaden, whether it's your feet or your arms, make plays and protect yourself. I'm not tripping on the sliding thing. He slid plenty much in college, but slides don't make highlight reels. Jaden Daniels getting the Sonic rings knocked out his fucking uniform, that makes highlight reel. Jaden Daniels getting knocked around like a fucking Looney Tune, that makes highlight reels. That's why you don't see all the sliding he did in college. But it's all good, though. It's all good. Everybody can feel however they feel about the game. We are on to. We are on to. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What Greg said? What Greg said that got everybody hyped up in the chat. Let me scroll the chat up a little bit. Y'all saying racist. We talking about race. What Greg wilding in the chat like that? What's good, my boy? What Jaden? What Greg said that got y'all riled up in the chat? Because I don't see that shit. Maybe it's something that does not need to be repeated on stream, but let me know. What the fuck are you talking about, racist? I have no idea what's going on in the chat. Somebody wilding in that joint, but we just talking about our quarterback. There ain't a negative you can get me to say about this guy right now. I'm talking, this is a guy who we drafted, and I know how good he was last year at LSU. I had no idea his arm had that much juice to it. No idea. I had no idea the ball was that snappy out of his hands. The release was that quick. On some of these shotgun, empty formation, screen passes, bubble screen, the way he leads the ball at the field, the ball placement, the way he only puts it where the receiver can catch it, that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. Y'all remember that AP clip that when I seen him throw that ball, where he sounded zesty as shit, he did that shit with his hand curled. He probably had his feet up. Like, I don't know. Adrian Peterson's like the most masculine Bama ever. I don't know why he sounded like that on that specific clip, but can we pump the brakes on NFL Sunday? Time is moving too fast. I got gray hair sprouting out of every orifice. Hey, I don't want to pump the brake. I want it now. I wish we could skip over Thursday and Friday night football. I wish we could play today. I wish in 2 hours at 4:30 Washington could play and run the ones on Tuesday. But like Jimmy said, we still got a few days to go. So maybe we should pump the brakes a little bit. Rio 1000, that's my boy, cool channel, keeping it 100, keeping it tall, on point. I try to, my guy. So I'm getting ready to wrap this stream up. I'm going to go to an hour 20 because I like whole numbers. I'm going to go to 80 minutes. So we got 3 minutes left in this stream to give y'all a quick little rundown of what we got going on in the channel for the rest of the week because we got something going on every day. Tonight, I will be recording a group chat war room pod. It's going to be pre-recorded, not live because everybody's scheduled. It's going to be me, Jalen, Tay Todd, Alec, my whole group chat squad, the same guys I watched the draft with, do the war room with. We're doing our full season predictions, record, game by game, who's going to win the Super Bowl, Washington's record, who's going to be the best player in Washington, who's going to be the MVP, who's going to be the most improved. So pretty much what I did last Friday, but including my friends. We're going to do that tonight. Tomorrow, going live at 7:30 to preview the game with Mr. Bucks Nation. Thursday, we're going live for the whole Chiefs Ravens game. Friday, we're going live for the Brazil game. Matter of fact, everybody say prayers for the Eagles and the Packers because that sounds dangerous as hell. The league is putting so many restrictions on it. It doesn't sound like a safe place to be sending grown man millionaires, but hey, get your money, Roger Goodell. I'll be going live for the whole Packers versus Eagles game as well. Sunday, I will be live all day, so don't worry about if you miss it early. I'm going live through the Commanders game at 4:25, but that live stream is going to start at 1 p.m. We're watching NFL Red Zone. We're going to be sitting back, stress-free, getting ready for our game, and watching the entire slate of NFL games that takes place before 4:25. All-day watch party stream. We're going live from 1 to 8, so 1 to 7:30, and 8:30, we're going to be doing a post-game show about the game. So when the game ends, y'all could go ahead and go hop on Louis T's post-game show. Y'all could go raid his channel. I'll be back in an hour or so. And y'all can come fuck with me. Let me garner my post-game thoughts, get some food in my system, use the bathroom. We are about to go crazy on this channel in 2024 because in 2025, I am transitioning into content creation full time. So we are going all in. We're pressing that button in between all of the streams I have planned. Whenever news comes out, a practice report, there's going to be videos I'm hitting you with here and there. There's going to be nonstop daily content on this channel going forward. But I try to speak the language of a fan. That's what we do over here because that's all that I am. I am not media. I am not an expert. I'm just like one of y'all with a microphone, a ring light, and a webcam pointed at me. That's going to wrap up today's stream. If you did not smash that like button, smash it on your way out. We still got over 500 in the building. If you're not subscribe to the channel, click that subscriber button. As I press in stream, I will be updating all of the channel member badges and tiers and the emoji stickers, the whole nine. So we will have a clean, rebranded look of the channel. I got a backdrop now behind me. I got better sound. I got a better quality webcam. We are going up all 2024. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Wear your burgundy and gold proud this week. Washington plays a football game, and the debut of Jaden Daniels is only 5 days away. Until next time, it's your boy Rio Robinson. Salute to all of y'all. On the way out, here's a word from our sponsors and a word from VA legend Michael Vick.
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.